Well, hello there. I apologize for the dark screen. I am, yikes, going live and still trying to figure out what I'm doing. I wanted to use my Chromebook today. I practiced with it yesterday, but I didn't realize that the camera would be so dark. The image would be so dark. So let me know in the comments if it looks okay to you. For me, it looks really, really dark. But anyway, welcome to my live stream today. It is much later than I tried to go live, but better late than never, right? And today's topic we're going to talk about is complacency. If you are a coach or a healer, and I need to move this out of the way. I tried several. Today has been a morning of snafus for trying to go live. If you are a coach or a healer, and you are having trouble getting clients and you're disappointed and you're frustrated with yourself and you're wondering if this dream, this vision of helping people transform their view on life, on their life situations, on their job, on their health, on their relationships, and you feel this really deep-seated calling to do this, but yet it doesn't seem to be coming together for you. Today, I invite you to consider whether or not you're just a little bit too comfortable where you are in your own life, and there's no real sense of urgency for you to put all of the moving pieces together to make your dream a reality. So let's talk about what complacency is. Complacency is just that feeling of things are good enough. It's okay. Would it be better to have more? Yes. But is it okay? Because, I don't have less. We can be grateful for what we currently have. And sometimes our different mindsets will cause us to think, well, maybe I'm greedy if I want more. It was only recently for me that I realized that it's okay to be ambitious. It's okay to want material things. If you are familiar with the gene keys in human design, one of the gene keys, one of the gates is gate 54, which is the transformation from greed on the low vibration side through the path of ambition to enlightenment. And so that is part of my nature, and it's part of everyone's nature, and it's just at varying levels. But complacency is when we're given a choice between 2 or 3 activities, and we take the easier path, the more comfortable path, the more familiar path, because it is uncomfortable, it's unsettling to go in a different direction, to do things differently than we've done them before. And so we just zone out, and we spend weeks, months, years, decades in this kind of neutral zone of things could be better, but they could be worse, so we're okay right here. And so we squander our time, and we don't have a sense of urgency because things are pretty good. For most of my life, I've looked at it and I've said, my life is 90% good. I have good health. I have strong relationships with the people that I care the most about. I have this sense of freedom. I retired early. I'm living my dream life let me try not to, in this 7 by 14 foot cargo trailer with my husband. I'm a New England girl, and here I am spending the winter in the desert. And it's amazing. 90% of my life I am so satisfied with. And then that 10%, that niggling little part of me that says, but Donna, you have a calling. You came here to do something more. You came here to guide and to encourage and to mentor people. And yet I stay in my comfortable introverted bubble most of the time. And so coming on here and doing this YouTube live is a big step for me. And so many of us, we're comfortable, things are good enough, and we don't push ourselves. That sense of urgency to break us free of that feeling of complacency, it has to come from within us. It can't be external things. One of my frustrations with modern day marketing, and it's probably been this way forever, is the sense of urgency. And most many people create a false sense of urgency. Buy tonight, by midnight, or the price goes up. Or if you don't purchase today, you miss these bonuses. And that just feels so fake to me because you see an ad on social media, promoted post, and it says sale ends tonight. But then you look at the comments and they're 4 weeks old, 42 weeks old, and you say, yeah, no. But it does. It gets that adrenaline going of, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out. And then for most of us, we coaches and healers, we have this big dream. We stay in our little comfortable bubble. There's no sense of urgency. So where does that leave our dreams? It leaves us in the dream world, right? Where we're not taking action on the things we want to do. We don't push ourselves out of our comfort zone. We don't expand our comfort zone. We don't learn new skills. And the challenging thing is when we're trying to promote our practices using social media, it is a very public setting. People are going to see it. People we know may see it, and they may suddenly say, oh, well, what are you doing? And then we fumble, at least I fumble, to find my words to explain what I'm doing. And it would be so much easier if I could do it anonymously. And there is a thing called faceless marketing. And within the Legacy Builders program, there's content that teaches you how to do that. I have chosen not to because I believe that it's my energy that is my secret sauce. And some of you are going to watch this and just click away within seconds. And again, I apologize for the dark screen. And others of you are going to say, oh, that's interesting. I kind of like her energy. And you will be the ones that will stick around. And so thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful. Another challenge that we have with complacency is we have these big expectations. We believe in the law of attraction, right? We know that when our energy is aligned with what it is that we want, and we put ourselves out there and we create content from this high vibration state, right? We know that we're going to connect with people. And yet it also takes time. Sometimes it happens right then and there. But sometimes it can take time because we may have those little niggling doubts. We may think we're right there, but we may be just a little bit shy of that true alignment. And so it takes a little bit of time. And so we're creating content, we're putting it out there, we're putting our heart and our soul out there, feeling very vulnerable and feeling like, yes, this is the time. How many of you have done a launch? Let me know in the comments. You've created a signature program or a special offer, and you put it out there, and there's crickets chirping in the background. No one's responding. And we start to think, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to do. Maybe 90% good with my life is enough. And we don't want to discount how much we appreciate and how grateful we are for everything that we have. And yet we know that we can have more. All of what we want is in our vortex, right? As Abraham Hicks calls it, our vortex of desire. And all of this stuff is out there for us. It's just matching up our vibration. So we put things out there and then we retreat. And we put things out there and then we retreat. And so we're yes and no, yes and no. And our sense of complacency of, okay, maybe this is good enough, keeps us from saying, I'm putting myself out there. 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 In the Legacy Builders program, Michelle O'Neill, the founder and chief mentor for this program, and the six-figure earners who have been in this program, who are mentors now, the big thing, the key message is consistency of creating content every single day. Now, if you are on YouTube and you're doing a weekly video, that is fine as well. But the shorter pieces of content, the recommendation is 3 pieces of content every day to one specific social platform that you choose. and it's becoming consistent. Recognizing what that platform is about, what type of content does well on that platform. Michelle had outlined in one thing that her way of describing it was TikTok, which soon will be banned in the US. TikTok is for people who just get to the point, get your point across, what your offer is, and move on. And then Instagram is more of the softer nurturing, the beautiful images, the building the relationships. And Facebook is all about drama. So what the problem is, what the threat is, the big deal, and the fear mongering type of thing, the drama aspect of it. And then YouTube is informational, educational, how-to stuff. And that's just a very brief overview as she explained it. So it's getting to know what type of content to create for each platform. And you just choose one. You focus your energy on one. And I started off with TikTok, and I was doing really well. I was consistent, 3 pieces of content a day. And then something changed. It wasn't sustainable for me. It wasn't feeling aligned with who I am. And we can be out of alignment and think we're in alignment, because I was aligned energetically as far as the learning aspect of it. But then I didn't want to continue down that path. So I switched my focus back to YouTube, which was my original starting point. And so I've started to do the weekly videos, and now I'm doing the YouTube live videos to get myself more familiar with the platform, to learn my technology. Today, I spent about 25 minutes trying to get things going on my Chromebook. Wasn't satisfied with the coloring of it, with the lighting, and pulled up my phone because I thought, I would like to show some things on my phone, so I didn't want to go live on my phone. I was going to go live on my phone after being disappointed with Chromebook, but then this stream that I had scheduled and set up I set it up yesterday to go live today, and I couldn't access it on my phone. So that's why I'm using my Chromebook. But from the place of complacency, because more than once I thought, you know what? I've gone live 4 times already in a row, 4 days in a row. It's okay if I miss today. It's starting to get late. It was, 11:30 at that point, 2 hours later than I usually plan it. It's getting hot out here. I'm in a tent, so it's a little bit warmer. And I thought, you know what? I don't have to do this. And it's like, Donna, you can't. No, you're setting that plan, that goal to go live every day, even if it's only for a couple of minutes. It's the consistency. It's showing up for myself, showing up for my vision, showing up for the 62 coaches and healers that I want to help start to learn and master social media marketing so they can fill their coaching practices, so they can leave jobs that may be soul sucking or supplement the income of jobs that they love but don't pay very well. This is all part of my vision. And I need to not be complacent. I need to show up. And so I am rambling. And I actually made notes, and you probably can't see this, but I made notes. Let's see. All right, so these are some of my notes. Let's see if I've hit any of them. Today's video will talk about how complacency sneaks into your journey, why it's so dangerous, and most importantly, how you can overcome it to live the fulfilling life you came here to live and serve those clients you came here to serve. So I haven't talked about why it's so dangerous yet. Complacency is settling for mediocrity because it's comfortable. I did talk about that. Avoiding risks or changes, even if they lead growth. I think I talked about that a little bit. Believing you'll act on your dreams someday, but someday never comes. I don't think I really talked about that too much. So how does complacency keep you stuck? Well, it keeps you stuck because it creates that illusion of safety, of comfort. But in reality, it's a trap, and it's going to just keep you stuck. It's sapping at your potential, because instead of taking 5 minutes, 30 minutes today to start developing new skills, to start learning something that will promote your business. So this is my favorite time killer that I watch in the evening. I don't know if you can see this. The lighting is so poor, but it's called Zen Color, and it's coloring pictures. It's color by number. And I spend a couple of hours a day doing it in the evening. And if I weren't making content already, then I could be using that time to create content, to outline topics, to do some keyword search. All of these are things that I learned in the Legacy Builders program, and it's step-by-step process teaching me how to create the content that is going to attract people to me. And all right, let's be honest, we're always so super critical of ourselves, but I don't feel like I'm there yet. I still have a lot to learn. It is a process. This is a long distance hike. It's not just a quick, park your car, walk 50 feet to a like a signpost, historical monument or something, and then walk back to your car. This is a long hike. It's a long haul. When you become complacent and you start saying, you know what, I can do it tomorrow, which is procrastination, right? But we procrastinate because things are okay. Think of it this way. For your health, using health is one of the best examples I can think of. You go about your day, you eat the foods you eat, you exercise or don't exercise based on what it is. You have your relationships, your job, anything that can cause you stress, right? And you go day by day by day by day, years, decades, and then suddenly you have a heart attack. And suddenly the poor food choices, the lack of exercise, the stressful job, the stressful relationships, all of these, they come crashing down on you, and you're flat on your back, getting loaded into an ambulance and taken to a hospital wondering, am I going to make it? That gets you to take action. You're sitting in the hospital and you're thinking, I don't want to go through that again. And so you start eating better. You start exercising under your doctor's care. You start thinking about finding a different job or setting boundaries with people that you love, whether in your job or in your private life. You start taking care of yourself because it's important to you. You want to keep surviving. But what happens so many times is once you get out of that red zone, that danger Will Robinson area, you start to feel a little bit better. You've lost a little bit of weight. You're eating a little bit better. And then one day you say, that donut looks really good. It's okay if I just have one donut. And then 2 days later, you have another donut. And before you know it, you're back down here in danger of another heart attack. That's how complacency shows up in our lives. And then there are other people, they have that warning sign, that heart attack, and they say, you know what? I'm going to do better. And they get to, from a health standpoint, instead of being a 1 to 3 level, they're up in the 4 to 7 range. And they're doing okay. They're still carrying extra weight. They're not eating super healthy, but they're getting by. There's some stress, but they're, taking care of a little bit. And they just live in this zone of mediocrity. And then there are some people who are so shocked and transformed by that heart attack that they go into steps 4, 5, and 6. They start to feel better, better, better. And they start to say, I feel so much better. I can do so many more things, so many more activities I couldn't do before. I'm taking my vacation time from work now that I never took before. I always took the cash payout. I'm getting down on the floor with my grandchildren to play with them. I'm getting to do all of these wonderful things. And I saw a sign for a 5K, and I'm going to walk and train to walk a 5K. And they do the 5K, which is at, say, value number 8. And they say, oh, I felt so good, and I met some fantastic people, and this was really fun. So they say, I'm going to do a 10K or a half marathon. And their physical activity keeps improving, and they're eating better to support their physical activity dreams. And then they just keep going. And suddenly 1 or 2 years later, they look back at who they were. They look back at the photos and they say, can't believe I ever let myself go like that. And how they got there was complacency, thinking that it didn't matter. With your coaching and healing practice, you have this vision of life, of helping your clients, of the financial benefits of having your coaching practice up here in the 8, 9, 10 level. But your actions are down here in the 4, 5, 6 level. Sometimes they're down in the 1, 2, 3 level, where there's no chance for you to have a business because you're just not doing anything. You're making the excuses. You're always saying, someday I can do it. Someday is today. That sense of urgency, that's on you. That's for you to determine, is today the day? Back on July 4th of 2024, I decided that was the day. And that was the day I purchased the Legacy Builders program. It was my personal finance day of freedom, my day of independence. But you get to choose. I'm not going to tell you when you need to do this. If you have a calling to be a coach or a healer and you desire, it is a deeply felt desire to generate your income doing this work, this much needed work. It's up to you to decide your sense of urgency. Or you can just sit back and say, someday I'll get there. All right, so let's see. The long-term impact. Oh, this is one of the things. The regret, the feelings of regret for not following your dreams. Yeah, I have been working on this for a very, well, can I get that to stand up? Let's see. Nope, I don't think I can. I have been dreaming of this for a very long time. Not so much the coaching aspect. I've always hesitated. Energetically, that has not been in true alignment for me. But having an online presence, I started my own website back in 2003. I purchased my domain name, started a website, had to do the HTML coding all on my own. And then I just sat with it. It was like, I did it. That's good enough. The world will find me. Well, the world doesn't find us. Very rarely does that happen. Unfortunately, it would be sweet if that happened. But we have to do something too. And so over the decades, I have tried a little bit. If I'm being honest, I've tried a little bit. I go forward and then I go back. I go forward, I go back. And for me, I wouldn't say that I've gone 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's been more like 1.1 steps forward, 1 step back. So my progress has been very, very slow, but still forward progress, right? So the feelings of regret, and the bigger one for me has always been that feeling of feeling unfulfilled. It's that 10% that's missing for me. It's the earning the income online, because I've seen this as a possibility and I've seen so many people do it. And my question was always, why? Why not me? Why not me? Why not me? And then when I changed that to, yeah, why not me? Instead of that woe is me victim mode, it's like, gosh darn it, why not me? Of course I can do this. Of course I can do this. If other people can do this, I can do this. The little engine that could story, it's been one of my favorite stories and one of my mantras. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. And now I've changed it because so many people in the Legacy Builders community, they're doing it. And now I look at it, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. And what are they doing differently? They're showing up consistently, and they are not complacent in what they're doing. They're not sitting back and saying, doesn't matter. I tried for a week. Didn't get any sales, didn't get any engagement on my post. Complacency is killing us. Complacency is that coach that none of us wants. The one that says, you're doing fine. Things are good just the way they are. No, we need a coach that's going to push us a little bit. We need mentors who are going to guide us and say, you can do this, and it is your choice. And you get to say, am I going to do it? Do I have that inner drive, that ambition? Goes back to gate 54 in human design in the gene keys. Gate 54. Do you feel greedy? Do you have mindset blocks? Are you allowing them to just take charge of your life and hold you back, keep you small, keep you poor? Complacency will keep you poor. Oh, things are good enough at my job. I don't need to ask for promotion. I don't need to apply for a promotion. They'll recognize me and give me the next promotion because I'm good enough the way I am. And yes, you are good enough exactly the way you are. And if you want to advance, sometimes you need to let people know that. If you want to attract clients, you need to let people know you're there and available for them. Instead of just saying, they know. People don't. People are so caught up and wrapped up in their own lives, as they should be. They should be living their lives focused on what they need, and we should be living our lives focused on what we need. And it's up to us. Scary, this personal responsibility stuff, isn't it? Sometimes sucks, but so how to break free from complacency, mindset shifts. Says my notes say, created some notes with ChatGPT, which you will learn a lot about in the Legacy Builders program. And if it's something you're interested in, something you feel conflicted over using, let me know in the comments, because I will be talking about ChatGPT and the transformation it has had for me and how I've helped some other people reframe how they think about using AI, artificial intelligence, to create their content and to use it to really reflect back to them their own values and their own strengths. It is a powerful tool. It is a tool. It is not a replacement. It cannot do all the work for you. It is a tool that will make things easier for you if you allow it. So I love this line. Stepping out of your comfort zone isn't easy. We know that, right? It's very difficult, but it is where your transformation will occur. We can't transform when we're still in our same little bubble. We have to expand it. Strategies are to start with one small action. Find a mentor community. Got that one for you. So celebrate progress, acknowledge every win, no matter how small, to build momentum, which is what I actually did on New Year's, well, couple of occasions recently. So after I went live for the first time on December 30th, I went into the Legacy Builders community and shared a post and said, I went live on YouTube. I'm so excited. And I talked about what my goals were. And I have gotten so much feedback on that post. A place in a group who understands where you can celebrate your wins. Because if you're like me, most of the people in my real life, they don't understand what I'm trying to do, what I want to accomplish. They see this as just silly, not worthwhile, kind of like other people can do it, but it's scammy, you know? And I don't believe it is. All I'm doing is promoting a program that I am loving being in. So why wouldn't I tell other people about it? And if I can earn money from doing this, isn't that the best of everything? Why do we have to have everything so sluggish? And other people can have opportunities, but when it's our turn, suddenly people are so skeptical and don't believe that it's possible, that it's right, that it's doable. And when we're complacent, when we just accept what they say instead of believing and trusting what we feel in our hearts, that gets us stuck. It keeps us stuck because, so when I started doing this, I didn't tell my husband really anything about it. The little bit that I did say, his response was on the negative side, the skeptical side. And so that's hard when you are with someone 24/7, because we don't work, we just stay here. I'm sitting on a little stool that's not very comfortable. So yeah, it can be disheartening. And when I was having some challenges and some frustrations with the program, I couldn't share it with him because he didn't get it. So it was nice to have that community to lean on and people who got it. And it was, for me, it was even better when I would see people in the community with their struggles, with their questions, and I could help them. And I could serve as that guide and that encourager, someone who was saying, it's okay, you can do this. We can do this. Excuse me. So, but it would be very easy. And there have been many days when I have not created my content because it would disrupt what he was doing. And so I allowed, well, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. And that's tough. There have been some times when our power, we are 100% solar powered. And there have been some times when our battery powers, because cloudy days, where it had dropped down enough where we were kind of on conservation mode for how much power we used, because we do have a refrigerator, we have a freezer, and so we need those things to keep running. And so I would put off doing my content. But here's where I became complacent, because I knew I couldn't get on our big computer to do the editing. I didn't even bother doing the recording, which I was doing on my phone or on our little action camera that we have. So I was skipping all of the steps. I was skipping steps 1, 2, 3 because I couldn't do step 4. That's how complacency shows up. We think I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later. And then we get to it later, but we still had all of this missed opportunity. Oh no, my screen shifted. I love this section. Inspire and motivate. And hopefully I've already done this. It says to encourage them to act now. The only way to achieve your dreams is to take that first step today. Don't wait for perfection. Start where you are with what you have. So let's talk about that one a little bit. So start where you are. What do you have? Do you have social media accounts already set up? Are you posting anything with any kind of regularity, even if it's just once a week to start? Something? Do you have a vision of who you help? Do you know who your ideal client is? Do you know what transformation you provide? What problem you solve? These are the beginning questions so you can start to create content. And this is all covered in the Legacy Builders program. These are step by step. You learn how to do it. And the thing I love about the Legacy Builders program, I find that it's going to be so valuable for coaches and healers for many reasons. But it really takes you through the process of trial and error to refine who your ideal client is. Because you probably have an idea. But then when you try to get more specific, and the reason we want to be specific is because we want to be able to talk to their specific transformation of what they would love to see happen. For me, for the coaches and healers I'm working with, what they want, what you want, is to be able to create compelling and engaging content on social media so that you can attract the people you came here to serve. And when that's easy, as simple as you have an idea, you pull out your phone, you create a piece of content, you post it, 10 minutes later, it's done. You're feeling good about it because you were in such a high vibration when you created that piece. And your heart was so open with love because you were thinking, oh my gosh, my ideal client needs to hear this. When you have that experience where you don't even have to think about, stress about, worry about creating content anymore because you are so focused on your ideal customer and saying, this is exactly what she needs to hear right now. You create the piece of content, you put it up on social media, and it's there. And it could be a week, 2 weeks, 6 months, a year from now before someone sees it, and then they reach out to you. It's beautiful when that happens. Instead of it being a slog and it's like, I'm so embarrassed, or I don't know what to post, and what will people think, and how does my hair look, and what do I do? Instead of all of that, you're just thinking, I don't care what my hair looks like. I've got to give this message. And that's my desire for the people that I work with. And this program is teaching how to do that. And I think there's a link to that in the description. So how long? I have been talking for half an hour. Let me grab a little bit of water here. So complacency, it's keeping you stuck. It's a comfortable feeling. It's a comfortable feeling in the moment. And then at the end of the day, you kick yourself because you didn't do more. You didn't do something. And so complacency is not your friend. That doesn't mean you have to go all out 100%, 100 miles an hour every single day. It just means keeping yourself going forward. So if you have any thoughts on complacency, how it's holding you back, how you would like to break free from it, let me know in the comments. If you would like to learn about the Legacy Builders program, which can help you on your journey. For me, it has been a bridge from my past failures to start a coaching practice to my future, to my dream of earning income online by helping people. So if you would like to learn more about that, type ready in the comments. I would love to help you out. Other than that, it is getting very warm in here. I'm starting to sweat, so I am going to sign off. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow. And now I have to figure out, oh, on the Chromebook, it says end stream right at the bottom. That's easy.